Welcome to the lecture series of Mechanics of Solids. In today's lecture, we will learn about resolution of more than two concurrent forces and condition of equilibrium of coplanar concurrent forces. Outline of the session. In this session, first, we will learn about resolution of more than two concurrent forces. Secondly, we will see conditions of equilibrium of coplanar concurrent forces. So let us start with resolution of more than two concurrent forces. Here in the system of force, four different forces P1, P2, P3 and P4 are acting. The direction of each force is given. These forces P1, P2, P3, P4 are acting at angle theta 1, theta 2, theta 3 and theta 4 with x-axis. For resolution of this system of force, first we need to resolve each and every individual force and we have to work out component of all forces along x and y direction, and this component we need to use to work out algebraic summation of horizontal forces and algebraic summation of vertical forces, from which we can work out resultant of all force. So let us see how it can be done. Here all individual forces are resolved. P1 is resolved in two rectangular components. The horizontal component of P1, that is P1 cos theta 1, and vertical component of P1, that is P1 sin theta 1. Same way, P2 is resolved in horizontal component P2 cos theta 2 and in vertical component P2 sin theta 2. Same way, P3 and P4 are also resolved. Now we need to work out algebraic summation of all horizontal forces. Next, we need to work out summation of H, that is algebraic sum of all horizontal forces, sigma V, that is algebraic sum of all vertical forces. From sigma H and sigma V, we can work out R, that is resultant of all forces. So these are the two equations which can be used to determine the magnitude and direction of resultant. Magnitude of resultant R can be obtained as under root of square of summation of all horizontal forces plus square of summation of all vertical forces. Please note that this sum is algebraic sum, and tan theta, that is direction of resultant force, tan theta, that is equal to in mode summation of all vertical forces divided by summation of all horizontal forces. This theta is angle of resultant with horizontal. So theta is angle of resultant with horizontal. Now to work out the algebraic sum of all horizontal forces and algebraic sum of all vertical forces, this sign convention are to followed. The forces which are acting in positive x direction are taken as positive. The forces which are acting in negative x-axis, these forces are to consider as negative forces. Same way, the forces which are acting in vertical direction and positive y direction, these forces are taken positive, and the vertical forces which are acting in negative y direction, that are to be taken as negative. So let us see how it can be done. Let us first determine summation of all horizontal forces. Two horizontal forces are in positive x direction and two horizontal forces are in negative x direction. So these two forces are to be taken positive and these two forces are to be taken negative. So we can write P1 cos theta 1 and P4 cos theta 4 are along positive x direction, so that are taken as positive, and P2 cos theta 2 and P3 cos theta 3 are acting in negative x direction, so these two forces are taken negative. Same way, let us work out sigma v. Here P1 sin theta 1 and P2 sin theta 2 are in positive y direction, so that are taken with positive sign, and P3 sin theta 3 and P4 sin theta 4 are along negative y direction, so their sign has been taken as negative. Now using these two equations, we can work out magnitude and direction of resultant of forces. These are the quadrant system. In first quadrant, both horizontal and vertical forces are positive. In second quadrant, horizontal force is negative and vertical force is positive. In the third quadrant, both horizontal and vertical forces are negative, and in the fourth quadrant, the horizontal force is positive and vertical force is negative. So based on the sign of sigma h and sigma v, we can determine resultant is acting in which quadrant. Suppose the sign of sigma h is positive and sign of sigma v is negative, so we can say horizontal force is positive and vertical force is negative, so the force will be in fourth quadrant. Likewise, we can determine the exact quadrant of resultant force. Now let us see condition of equilibrium of coplanar concurrent forces. Now let us try to understand condition of equilibrium of coplanar concurrent forces. In the figure, we can see a big stone is there and four different persons are trying to pushing this force from different directions. So if this stone is in equilibrium condition, means it is not moving after application of all these forces, it means that the forces acting by this person is same as the force acting by this person, and same way the force acting by this person is equal to the force acted by this person. Means all the forces in horizontal direction are removing the effect of each other, and the forces which are acting from this y direction, that forces are also eliminate the effect of each other. It means that the algebraic sum of all the forces in horizontal direction, it will be 0, and same way the algebraic sum of all forces acting in vertical direction, it must be 0. So the resultant of this system will be 0 because the system is in equilibrium. Now let us write these conditions. So these are the condition of equilibrium. Summation of h is equal to 0 means algebraic sum of all the horizontal forces must be 0, and sigma v that is equal to 0, it means algebraic sum of all the vertical forces must be 0. So if system is in equilibrium, these are the two conditions of equilibrium. And here sigma h is 0 and sigma v is 0. So we can say the resultant of this system must be 0. So in this lecture, we have learned about resolution of more than two concurrent forces and condition of equilibrium. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any doubt or query, please write in the comment box. I will be very happy to help you. Thank you. Thank you very much.